Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws is explaining why some COVID-19 restrictions, including the entry requirements, will remain in place for St. Kitts and Nevis. In recent days, there have been calls from political leaders and former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Patrick Martin to remove the COVID-19 border restrictions, as these are no longer necessary considering the COVID-19 situation in St. Kitts and Nevis.
So in summary, there is a surge in the number of cases locally. There's a surge in the number of COVID-19 cases in our source markets. And so the question of change, as I said before, our entry protocols have been guided by data and the latest information. And so it's not wise to make a change at this time. The most important thing to do is to contain this present wave of COVID-19 infections prior to consideration of change.
In recent days, there have been calls from political leaders and former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Patrick Martin to remove the COVID-19 border restrictions, as these are no longer necessary considering the COVID-19 situation in St. Kitts and Nevis.
82.8% of the adult population is vaccinated, as reported. On March 1st, 2022, the Chief Medical Officer declared that there is a high threshold of population immunity that has been built up to buffer against even the most highly contagious variants of COVID-19 virus, as seen with Omicron variant experience. Antiviral and therapeutic medications are tools are now freely sold retail on the global market. These facts and stats point to the fact that St. Kitts and Nevis is now in a position to learn how to live with COVID-19 and put an end to government regulations, especially as far as traveling home is concerned.
If I had my preference, I would remove that requirement altogether, because I do not believe it serves any useful purpose at this point. And if it can be, as we expect it will be abused, then that is even more reason to have it removed right away and allow our people the capacity to travel in and out of their country as they had been accustomed to prior to COVID.
Meanwhile, former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Patrick Martin suggests that the state of health of residents in St. Kitts and Nevis is better able to adapt to new variants and subvariants of the coronavirus.
There isn't any stealth Omicron from a scientific standpoint. This is another Omicron variant that we're now up to 5 subvariants of Omicron. Each subvariant has a change in the genetic sequence. And so with each change, the immune system has to adapt and respond. And adaptation will take weeks, days or weeks. In the meantime, those persons who are particularly vulnerable will become infected and reinfected.
There have been reports of increases in COVID-19 cases globally, particularly in the United States, and with reports of new subvariants of the coronavirus. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.